Welcome to Sacred Byzantium, a trip to Georgia, Greece, and Ukraine.
And this is Greece.
We started the trip in Athens. On the first day, we walked up to the Acropolis. Our first stop was at the amphitheater of Dionysus, home to tragedies, comedies, and even gladiatorial fights during Roman occupation. As we continued our way up, we picked up a cute four-legged friend. Next stop on the way up was at another amphitheater. This is the view of the Parthenon. Next we drove down to Cape Sunion, home of the Temple of Poseidon. As you can see, the Aegean Sea is beautiful at sunset. That night we contemplated the things we saw that day and had a couple of drinks. And then we headed to Delphi. It's a pit stop on the long drive to Delphi, about 3 hours outside of Athens. This is our first morning in Delphi. You can see the beautiful mountains, and as we continue the view, you can even see the olive trees in the valley below and the Gulf of Corinth. And here we have a couple of students starting their day. We had to walk to the bus, which is about a quarter mile from the hotel, since the bus could not fit through the narrow streets of Delphi. We headed to the Museum of Delphi, home of the Oracle of Apollo. The museum showcases the craftsmanship of the Greeks, including pottery, stonework, and even metallurgy in the next shot. You can see they were masters of gold. Delphi was nestled between two mountains, which served not only as a contemplative force for the divine energies, but also as protection against invaders. This is the amphitheater. And this is our descent down from the stadium at the top of the city. It's not difficult to see why this place was so protected from invaders. The terrain is very rugged. After visiting Delphi, we drove to St. Osus Lucas Monastery, about an hour and a half away. It would be the first monastery we stopped at on this trip. When we arrived, we were greeted by a four-legged friend, which was customary throughout Greece. This is the main church at the monastery. This is the narthex, which is covered with icons. This is the main church that lies in the shape of a cross and has the signature dome of the Byzantine churches. This is the iconostas, which is different from most because usually there are four figures depicted. To the left of Mary would be the saint that the church was dedicated to, and to the right of Jesus would be St. John the Baptist. This is St. Osus Lucas, preserved in this glass coffin, who serves as a relic for the monastery. As you can see, this monastery was nestled in the Greek mountains. Some students and the professor contemplating the day. Some students enjoying the view. Our next stop was to Meteora. In Meteora, there are monasteries that are nestled on the tops of cliffs. At one time, there was not a cliff there that did not have a monastery atop it. However, Today, there remains less than 10 active monasteries and several ruins of previously active monasteries. Take a moment to notice the beauty of this area. Our next stop was Thessaloniki. In Thessaloniki, we went to the Byzantine Museum, a showcase of Byzantine culture and the importance it had on this part of Europe. Our next stop was in the Old City. We then went to the cathedral in Thessaloniki. From there, we jetted to Istanbul. While in Istanbul, we saw the Hagia Sophia, the pride of the Byzantine Church, and the Blue Mosque, the pride of the Ottoman Empire that replaced the Byzantine. This obelisk was a gift from the Egyptians in tribute to the greatness of the Byzantines.
Next, we headed to Tbilisi. As you can see from this view, the gondola ride was very beautiful. Breathtaking even. We got to the top and took pictures of this wondrous city. Alright. During the hike down from the gondola ride, our tour guide Tamo told us about the wish tree, where people tie things to it and make wishes in hopes that they'll come true. Here's a woman selling wine candy, which is actually delicious. And here's some local art that we checked out. Here's the Toastmaster, a statue of a man who, before he gives a toast, drinks 3 to 5 liters of wine. It's a tradition here in Georgia. Here's another view from Tbilisi. And here's our professor, Foltz. Excellent view. Oh, another excellent view. Here are some Georgian churches. As you can see, they are architecturally different from other churches found in the Byzantine Empire. You don't see the typical dome. Instead, you see a spire-shaped dome. Next, we visited Meshetha. Here's a cool monastery that we checked out. As you can see, it's very high up. Beautiful, beautiful view. In the town of Meshetha, we visited another church. Here, there were locals praying. Kind of annoyed that we were there. Next, we went to Gori, home of the Stalin Museum. Here, we checked out many artifacts left from this vicious dictator, Stalin. There's his death mask. Stalin's house. Very good stuff. What a lovely house, Stalin family. Next, we went to Borjomi, home of that delicious Georgian water we all know and love. As you can see, there are beautiful streams carrying this luscious, luscious water on its way to be bottled and for Georgians and other consumers to drink. Next, we went to Signagi. Signagi is famous for their wine, similar to Napa Valley in California. We went there for a wine tasting and drank some of their delicious cha-cha. It was an incredible experience. On our way, we stopped at the Caves Monastery. Wow, what a place. A monastery built into a cave. Here's a beautiful picture opportunity. And we'd just like to say, thanks Eckerd, thanks Foltz for making this trip happen. Oh, and Diane Ferris.